Hello guys, welcome to the channel, and today we will talk about IELTS speaking. So IELTS speaking basically has three parts to it. The first part is the introduction, the second is the cue card, and the third part is the questions related to the cue card. The duration of the IELTS speaking test is between 11 to 14 minutes. In the first part, the examiner asks you questions about yourself and your familiar topics such as home, family, work, studies, and interests. This part lasts between 4 to 5 minutes. In the second part, the examiner will give you a cue card and you will have 1 minute to prepare before you have to speak for up to 2 minutes. And in the third part, the examiner will ask you questions which would be related to the second part, that is the cue card. Here he will discuss about abstract ideas and issues, and this will last between 4 to 5 minutes. So let's look at a sample questionnaire which can be asked by the examiner. So here the examiner is asking you about your school days. So for example, the examiner might ask you, tell me something about your secondary school. So in this you may describe your school, until what grade was it, about how it looked, as well as its teachers. In the second question, is like, which subject did you find most difficult at school? So, for example, you can say mathematics, physics, biology, and any other subject. Again, in the third question, do you ever need that subject now? So you can add, you can say, no, I do not need that subject now as I moved on to another stream, or I have changed my stream. So, for example, if you have studied, let's say, physics in your grade 12 and you are studying commerce now, you don't need that subject, right? In the second part, which is the cue card, the examiner will give you a cue card and you will have 1 minute to write notes about it. So, for example, here the cue card says, describe an interesting story that you heard or read about in the news. You should say when you heard or read about the story, what is the story about, why was the story in the news, and explain why you thought the story was interesting. So you could say you heard about the story last week or last month. What was the story about? You could say it was about black holes. Why was it in the news? Because it was about, let's say, discovery within the black holes or how black holes were created. Explain why you thought the story was interesting. You could say, I'm highly interested in physics, or you can say, I'm a budding physicist, something along those lines. In part 3, the examiner will ask you questions which would be related to the cue card. For example, here the examiner might ask you, when do people like to read the newspaper? So you could say in the morning, in the afternoon, or whenever they are free. Second question here again, how important is it for people to have a choice of newspaper? So you could say very important, as we are living in a democracy and people have chance to read whatever they choose to read. Again, third question, what does a good newspaper contain? You could say a good newspaper contains editorials, factual data along with charts, bar charts, graph charts, etc. It has all its sources intact. So you can say along those lines. Again, the speaking test is not that difficult. It's just about understanding the questions and having a basic grasp of the current topics. So in the next part, we will study about this questionnaire and we will answer the questionnaire in a thorough manner. So if you like this video, please make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.